Hey folks, this is Ben Gessel. How's it going? I promise this is going to be a very quick video. It won't be very long. I know precisely what I'm going to say in this video. In fact, it might be unusually short. And if for some other subjects, I'll get into it more in other videos at some point. So I just want to say this much. There are separate, but on some level connected. I say still separate entities that are um, laughably insane, insanely. Um, I mean, laughably false. Just patently wrong what they adhere to, and in every level. And these groups are, or these trains of thought are, for one, the Black Hebrew Israelites, and two, as far as I can describe this train of thought, Black revisionist history. But I might also add three, any kind of supremacist, not just black supremacist, like Black Hebrew Israelites. Let's talk about these guys just really briefly. Really briefly. And I do mean really briefly. Black Hebrew Israelites believe that only Afro Americans, including West Africans or whatever, American Indians, Hispanics, I think, plus Polynesians and Caribbeans and Jamaicans. Only those folks, maybe a few others like those folks, are going to heaven, and everyone else is going to hell. And it's a racial reason. It's race. It's about race. While you're going to heaven or hell, that's what they believe. Black Hebrew Israelites, um, which is of course wrong, to say the very least, and it has nothing to do with race at all. We have there are no there is nothing written in scripture regarding who's going to heaven or hell in terms of race. Nothing like that whatsoever. There never has been. It's the most anti-Christian thing I can think of. Well, one of the most anti-Christian things, one of the most anti-Christian things I can think of. One of the things that flies in the face of choosing between right and wrong is that you're just going to heaven or hell no matter what you do. So this life is completely pointless. It was just a question of what race you were born as. It's the same thing as being a white supremacist. It's just that in this case, we're talking about Afro American supremacy on some level, not even including East Africans or Southern Africans or whatever. It's just West and Afro American and American Indian and whoever else they think is part of the 12 tribes of Israel. So, moving on to these black revisionists that are claiming that the leaders of Europe and the accomplishments made in Europe in the science and the arts and all kinds of stuff, everything that's really noteworthy. Oh yeah, it was all Africans. It was Africans that did all that stuff. Um, and apparently, there's a term that's being used to describe. This is one of the connections between the two different kinds of groups here. It's referring to all white people. I don't know, for that matter, maybe Middle Easterners, Arabs, who knows, as being from Esau. So I've heard this before. I've actually seen this before. This is quite a while back. I was on some Black Hebrew Israelite videos, and I saw this term being thrown around, and people kept referring to me as being from Esau or something like that. And black people were from Israel and the Lion of Judah and this stuff. They called me Esau. My name wasn't Esau. My name is Ben. I'm not Esau. Esau was the brother of Jacob, who. Let's go through this just really quick, shall we? I said it would be short. It will be short. Abraham had a few sons, Isaac and Ishmael. Ishmael's descendants went down into Arabia and that ballpark. Isaac, he had two sons, Jacob and Esau. Jacob's name was changed to Israel. Pretty sure I got all that right. Esau's descendants settled kind of southeastward from Israel and probably contributed to the ancestry of people now in Jordan, in that general ballpark. And Israel was scattered, as far as my religious beliefs are concerned, throughout the world. So yes, we don't know where they all are. We don't know where all the Israelites are, in my opinion. They were scattered everywhere. I don't know. Who knows? So, no, I mean, I have no idea if I have any descendants in the ancestry from Esau. I doubt it, but you never know. But it's ridiculous, folks. This is nonsense. This is tripe. King Henry VIII was white. The Anglo-Saxon kings that came over to invade Britain after the Romans left were white. Newt, I don't know, was white from Denmark. Harold Bluetooth or Harold Bloodaxe or all these guys from Denmark were white. They were white. They just, it's not like, it's just a thing. It's like, that's just who they were. It's, yeah. Okay, now it's true. It's true that folks from Laplanders, are a little bit different. They're shorter and not quite as blonde as the North Scandinavians and stuff, but Laplanders are not black. And it's true that you have people that paint their faces black and on Christmas and in Holland, but that's kind of a Christmas tradition. I can't remember. Is it a term they use called Black Pete or something? I have no idea. I just, and you have these and then you had people from northwest Africa, Morocco, that came up into Spain and settled in Spain. So you have some Moorish, a lot of Moorish influence in Spain and Moorish folks, but the Moors were a little bit different than black Africans, I think, as far as I can tell. Not quite the same people, similar but different. It's like Swedes aren't quite the same as Greeks, but they're similar but different. uh, you know, Africa is a very, very big continent. Lots of diversity in terms of people look like. Quite a bit so. Quite a bit that way. So I just, folks, again, I'm going to wrap this up. I promise I will. And it goes with saying that white supremacists are misguided as well. Very much so. But it's this one group, the revisionists, right? Whenever you know something actually happened, and you get you get all the information in your mind. You say, okay, this is what really happened in it. You verify it with other sources, and like, okay, all right, studying U.S. history in school. You're not gonna. I'm not gonna believe all of a sudden that what's his name? General Custer. I'm not going to believe all of a sudden that General Custer was a black man and that he was fighting Chinese in the Mountain West. General Custer was a white guy and he was fighting American Indians. And that's a sore spot for lots of American Indian tribes. So we won't get into that too much right now, maybe. But it's just ridiculous, and it's just bat shit crazy to believe this crap. It's wrong to be racist, and it's also just flat out scholarly, just in terms of academic scholarly knowledge-wise, it's completely false to believe that Vikings are black and Saxons are black. And by the same token, it's completely ridiculous to believe that Zulus are white and the Yoruba were white. The Yoruba and the Igbo and the Fulani and the Shanti and the Zulu and the Xhosa and the Swazi and all these guys are black. And the Dutch and the Saxons and Scots and Irish and Swedes and Norwegians and Danes and Finns and Russians and French and Italians and Greeks are white. And that's okay. And the Chinese and the Japanese and Koreans and Vietnamese and Thai and Mongolians are Asian. And that's okay. And the Navajos and the Apaches and the Iroquois and the Kiowa and the Cree and the Shoshone and the Nez Perce and the Inca and the Quechua are American Indian. And that's okay. And the Samoans and Tongans and Fijians and Tahitians and Hawaiians are Polynesian. And some other collectively Polynesian. I know that some are Melanesian, some are Micronesian, some are, I get it. And that's okay to believe that. And the Gujarati and the Hindi, Maharashtra, and the Bengali, and the Telugu, and Punjabi. These are all folks. You could say they're Indian or Pakistani to India, or South Asian. Or whatever. It's okay to say that, and that's correct. And they're connected with the Indo-Europeans, right? And the Tajik and the Persian are also Indo-Iranian or the Indo-European, and so they're connected with the Europeans and the Indians. It's all part of the same group. And the Iraqis and the Saudis and, these guys are more like Arab and Semitic. Different but similar with the Jews in Israel who were scattered. And we understand that these are all Semitic folks, and that's okay to say they're Semitic because they're Semitic. So let's not, let's just call it for what it is. And just because it's what it is, what it is what it is. And there's no value judgment in saying that someone's a certain nationality. It's just their nationality. That's it. You can think a lot of things about nations. You can have a lot of feelings and whatever, and that's fine. And that's okay. That's fine to have. It's a very important part of, on some level, of our lives to have these kinds of trains of thought. But when push comes to shove and we're just talking about history and different people in the world, a Russian is a Russian, and a Kenyan is a Kenyan. And I think that they probably want to be thought of that way, rather than the other way around. So, okay, that all being said, I'm sorry for having to mention these obvious things, but I see this stuff happening, online, at least on YouTube. I just... I have to wonder. sometimes. Okay. All right. Leave me thoughts, comments below. Catch you guys later. Take care. Bye.